Meantime, former National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan denying claims that President Biden forgot his name. Listen to this.
Happen? I do not recall that ever happening, and I will tell you, Joe Biden knows my name. I had to wake the president up in the middle of the night when there were crises. I did that over the course of the 4 years, and I saw him operating, decision-making, executing as commander-in-chief throughout that time.
Yeah, and these were claims made in Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson's new book. Fox News contributor and senior writer for the Washington Examiner, Joe Concha, joins us now. Joe, what do you make of this situation?
Well, Carly, Todd, there are three choices on this one, and they ain't good, all right? One, Biden wasn't communicating at all with his national security advisor as the commander-in-chief, or Biden forgot the name of his national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, called him Steve twice in front of a room full of people, or C, all the above, which I'm going with, because you just look at the numbers, guys.
Hey, Joe.
Do you know how many cabinet meetings? Yeah.
I got to interrupt you because we got to see the president right now. He's getting ready to depart Abu Dhabi after a successful week in the Middle East. Let's take a look at this live video. He was able, as you know, to secure massive investment deals for the U.S., raking in billions of dollars in business while strengthening Middle East alliances. Trump expected to arrive back at the White House just before 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. And as we look at this shot, him getting ready to board Air Force One after saying goodbye to some of the world leaders there, the importance and the monumentousness of this trip cannot be overstated. Like we talked about earlier with Dr. Rebecca Grant, this will be one for the history books. This could potentially change history and the way we approach the Middle East, both the United States and the world as well, Carl.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're talking a whole lot of money that is going to come in as a result of this trip. And also, the president met on the sidelines with the new president of Syria, something that wasn't even initially reported was going to take place. But when he made that announcement about potentially normalizing relations with the country, that also took place. A huge deal that will have implications for that country and also the overall landscape of the Middle East. So the president is going to be boarding Air Force One, and I think he and the people on the plane will say, job well done, Mr. President. A whole lot was done.
And Joe, let's deal you back in here through the media lens because, I mean, look, we understand that the media maybe doesn't like the Doge cuts, doesn't like Donald Trump's immigration. But how can anybody in the media that covers the world, that covers history, that covers news, look at this trip and say it was anything other than a success, Joe?
On a scale of 1 to 10, this was absolutely a 10, Todd, as far as success is concerned. And again, just look at the numbers as far as the trillions in investment that Donald Trump has tapped into by stabilizing relations in the Middle East. I mean, he is getting more done now. He's only in office barely 4 months than Joe Biden obviously was able to in 4 years. So overall, yes, this has been a very successful trip. On the home front as well, we saw Edon Alexander. He was released finally by Hamas. We're seeing tariff deals being done with the UK and China, one upcoming with India, 0 for 0 tariffs. So he's probably had, this president and Trump, the best 2 weeks of any time in his presidencies, and I'm talking first term, and I'm talking now, the poll numbers are certainly shifting as well. We saw in Rasmussen an 11-point swing upwards for the president. He's doing especially well among millennials. That's where he's polling best of all age groups. So right now, if you're the Democratic Party, what's your answer? Yeah, because you went off on the tariffs, you went off on all these things, and now they all seem to be coming Trump's way, the country's way. They don't seem to have any solutions to this point, Carly.
And just speaking of Democrats, Connecticut Congressman Jim Himes, he told Politico, I think the president has in his last week or so played the Middle East pretty darn well. He said that he's not in the habit of praising this president, but I got to give him some kudos there.
Not all Democrats, though, are on board with the Trump administration, as you might or may not know. The View co-host Sunny Hostin now facing backlash for her take on Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton's election losses, too, said Donald Trump. Listen.
We lost twice when women ran.
Yeah.
I mean,
but is there no distinguishing factors to each woman and why they might have lost? Is there no nuance?
Hillary Clinton was one of the most qualified candidates in presidential. She carried. And then
they did all those things.
This country is a misogynistic country, and this country is a country that, out of all of the first world countries, hasn't been able to elect a female president.
So
That's just factual.
30 seconds to you, Joe. Nothing to do with the fact that Kamala couldn't answer simple questions without a word salad, and nothing to do with the fact that Hillary skipped Wisconsin.
Wow, Sonny, again, Hostin, I know she's watching. How, again, did Hillary Clinton win the popular vote in 2016 when she ran for president? How did she even get the nomination if we live in a misogynist country? Kamala Harris ran for president in 2019. Are you saying Democrat voters are also misogynist because they rejected her then? That's a heck of a way to talk about voters in your own party. To your point, Todd, when Kamala Harris spoke outside of a teleprompter, she became a human Chernobyl. She ran a horrible campaign. That's why she lost, not because of her gender.
Well, Joe, we wrap up our week here on Fox and Friends First with you as the president wraps up his Middle East trip as well.
We will try our best to not make next week boring because it's a tough one to follow.
This one certainly was.
I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.